Hey, this is Ramon, Channel South before. I'm in the middle of a workout, actually. Hence the gear. And I'm going to call this one In Defense of Paganism. Yes, I do realize that Wiccanism and Druidism are actually neo-paganism and that they are not older than the 60s and 70s. I get that, okay? I've read a lot of their books. I've read The Witch's Magical Handbook. I mean, it's just a lot of LSD and ecstasy nonsense. That's all that it is. It's just drug-induced. I get it. So what? Let them believe what they want to believe. Who cares? One of their prime rules is harm none. So, as long as you're not harming anyone, I'm not really worried about it. Anyway, I get that. I'm not saying that it's a logical faith. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that it's even a true faith, that paganism and heathenism are true. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to say that killing those people somehow doesn't count against our faiths as violent is wrong. When our faiths were involved in those kind of actions, the people in that faith were wrong. I'm not saying that our faith was wrong. I'm not saying that our religion is wrong. I'm saying that the people who took that message from our faith were understanding the message incorrectly and were applying that message falsely. They were taking the wrong lessons and they were committing violence in the name of our religion. And we should be offended by that. We should not be defending it. We should be offended by it. Now, there's a difference between paganism and heathenism. It's been a long time since I've looked up these definitions, but basically, I believe paganism is in-city worship and heathenism is out-city worship or rural worship. Rural worship. So think like Pan. Pan would be worship in the rural areas, while Athena would be worshipped in the city. Okay, it's kind of like that. Okay, so rustic versus urban, is that what I'm talking about? Nope. So I've been watching religious debates on YouTube lately, and I've noticed this really funny, weird thing, and I've noticed it when atheists do it. Atheists do this a lot. Christians do it somewhat, not as much, but somewhat. Catholics and Protestants, by the way, both. And the Orthodox do it a lot. And then Islam does this all the time. Okay? So what do? They'll be debating violence in their religion, specifically violence in their holy books. And then they will make a comment that goes, but we are simply talking about violence against the pagans. We are simply talking about killing off the pagans. It wouldn't affect you. You are a good Christian. You are a good Muslim. You are a good Protestant, Catholic, Zoroastrian. You are a monotheist. Therefore, this wouldn't affect you. Okay, that's a very interesting argument. Except Shintoism. Hinduism, Native American tribalism, Aboriginal, I don't even know what the Aboriginals call their religion in Australia, but Aboriginalism, okay? Also, there's my ancestors, the Aztecs and Mayans, who were wiped out, by the way, by the conquistadors. You know, the Native Americans in North America who were wiped out by the Pilgrims, Puritans, and Protestants. Then you have communism, which wiped out a lot of religions in China and in North Korea and in Russia. And Oh, that's right. Protestants were busy destroying statues and killing Catholics. Ooh, in the name of religion. That's right. That happened. That wasn't the Crusades, which was the Catholics killing people. That was Protestants killing people and War of the Roses and all that kind of stuff. Someone should make a TV show out of that, but set it with like dragons and stuff and call it Game of Swords? Game of Swords. I think that's a good Game of Dragons. Game of Dragons? Who knows? Anyway, someone will pick that up. So why is it okay to kill pagans? Pagans and heathens. What's the problem there? If you go back to the books, to the beginning Abrahamic books, you get lines like kill all the Canaanites, kill all the Philistines. But when you go further in that religion, you'll notice that you've got to stop doing that. To where now the Pope says you need to respect all religions and protect all religions. So what's the change? What happened? What's going on there? On my mother's side, the Colochian side, their family goes back to the Aztecs and to the Mexicanos. And not Mexicans like as in Mexico, but as in the Mexican tribe that betrayed the Aztecs and took over Mexico. That's where you get the name Mexico from. It's from that tribe. Okay? Those are my ancestors. Okay? Their holy books were destroyed. The only one that survived is called the Popol Vuh. I've read it, by the way. It's pretty good. I like it. Want to buy another copy of it because my original copy was stolen. It was a good translation. So why is it okay to kill pagans and heathens? Human sacrifice. That's the reason, right? Because they are sacrificing humans. Except most pagan religions were not sacrificing humans. On the rare occasions that they did, those records of that happening are actually written by Christians or Muslims who are recording that horrible event. What's the problem there? Biased reporting. What about when the pagans were in charge? Were there large amounts of human sacrifice? Nope. In fact, they accused Christians of killing children and drinking blood and eating flesh. I wonder where they got that from. And then the Jews were also accused of similar things. In fact, the Jews even had a demon called Lilith, who is a kind of a goddess in the Mesopotamian religion. And her job was to steal the souls of babies. Except in Mesopotamia, her job was to protect the souls of babies. Kind of funny how that twist, huh? So, I don't think that argument works. I don't think the argument that our religion is a peaceful religion because we would never kill fellow monotheists. We'll just destroy statues. Well, today, all those statues from those times are now considered old heritage. They are considered precious, and it is a crime against humanity to destroy these things because they hold history. And to all you assholes out there who love destroying Bibles or destroying Qurans or whatever, stop doing that, okay? Because now you're no better than the bad guys, man. Once you're burning books and you're trying to suppress ideas, you are now the villain, okay? Don't go around breaking statues. Don't go around doing any of that. And it's not because it's sacrilege or heresy or any of that. Listen, in my religion, Catholicism, you see the statues and all that stuff, those are just statues. They're not God. They're not gods. They're not magical beings. The Bible itself is not God, okay? None of that. It's just a book with words. But when you destroy it, you're destroying knowledge. You're destroying knowledge that could be spread. And I realize that to you consider that a political statement or a religious statement. It's just you being an asshole, okay? Don't go around destroying holy objects, not because they are themselves holy. They're only holy until they are profane. So, quick, short version. You have to be in a holy state to touch a holy thing. Once you are in a profane state or a normal state, and you touch a vulgar state, and you touch a holy object, that object is no longer holy. That's how that math works. So once you start doing all the blasphemy stuff to it, it long since quit being a holy thing. So all you're doing is messing around with a book or with a statue or with a piece of metal, and you're just a fool because you're not actually hurting anything, because most religions, you can't hurt God. There's nothing you can say that hurts God. There's nothing you can do that hurts God. So just little heads up to the atheists who think they're actually making a statement. You're not. Also, on the same note, when you turn crosses upside down or pentagrams upside down, that doesn't mean anything either. Upside down cross is actually a holy cross. Sideways cross is actually a holy cross. You're not turning it into an evil symbol. You're just showing your lack of education on religion. But that being said, will you offend some people by doing it? Yes, you will. And I plan to do a whole thing on free speech because I believe free speech should be an absolute. I believe free speech is an important thing. I'm a hardliner on it. But that's not where I'm going with this. I'm not talking about free speech here. I'm talking about, well, I guess in a way I am talking about free speech. Because if we're going to live in a world of ideas, then we have to allow the ideas of paganism, of spiritualism, of tribalism. You have to allow those things. And I don't care if you're an atheist or a Catholic or a Muslim or a Hindu. You have to allow for the other point of view. You just have to. Even if that view is horribly offensive. Let that view stand. It's not affecting you. Let that view stand. Let it fall or rise on its own merits. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You can't go around killing people just because they don't agree with you. That is wrong. It is wrong when Christians did it. It is wrong when Catholics did it. And it is wrong when Muslims do it. You don't go around killing people because they don't agree with you. That is wrong. It is evil to do that. No one can judge but God. Okay? And if you're an atheist, what are you killing for anyway? You know, atheist shoots up a church. Like, what's that about? You think you're proving a point? You're not proving a point. Everybody just went to heaven. You didn't prove nothing. So no. There's a whole thing about martyrdom and all this other stuff that relates into it. But the end point is that you can't justify your religion by saying, well, we only attack this one group that we all hate. Well, then you still attack that one group. And that one group is still our ancestors, whether you like it or not. Your ancestors at one point were pagans. That's just how it goes. At one point, monotheism was not the core view of the world. Polytheism was, and then before that, animism. And then before that, conceptual kind of abstract isms. You know, that's just how it is. That's how the human mind evolved, and that's how religion evolved. So you shouldn't go around killing people because those are someone's ancestors, and those could be your great-great-grand-nephews sometime in the future. So I kind of lost the thread. All right, it's really cold, so I'm recording this between sets in my workout. Anyway, so where was I? So are all the ills of the world due to some sort of paganism and heathenism? No, not at all. Democracy comes from paganism. It does. India, one of the most populous countries in the world, are technically pagan, well, polytheist. Although their understanding of polytheism is different than our understanding because they don't come from a Greek understanding or Latin Roman understanding. Reincarnations or avatars of the same God over and over again. It's a little different. Okay, so what about Vikings? Do we hate Viking culture? They killed and murdered, and I mean, they were horrible, right? No, we love Vikings, and we dress them up as heroes and dress our children up as them. Do we hate things that were invented under those ideas? No, we don't. Philosophy comes from paganism. It comes from Greek religion. Now, there are those who would argue that Socrates and Plato and Aristotle are the pre-Christians, which is a weird way that Christians try to make claim on some of the greatest philosophers of all time. But that's a different story altogether. But there's plenty of things that we have and do today that are from pagan tradition. We have Christmas trees. Christmas, by the way, the Christ in it means Christ, for those out there who don't know that. Holly also, if you say holiday, that's holly, that means holy, holy day. Oh, you don't want to offend people. You're not getting away from the language that we have. It's the language that we have. Okay, well, what about that? Is that a sword or is that a cross? You tell me. What about that? Is that a simple drawing? Or does that have something to do with Taoism? You tell me. So, do you hate superheroes? Because I got to tell you, all those are based on pagan gods. Batman, Odysseus, Superman, Achilles, sometimes Samson, and so on and so forth. The Flash, Mercury, Wonder Woman, the Amazons. I mean, clearly that one's not even a stretch. So what are you going to do about that? You're going to ban Thor cartoons because they're pagan? So you're going to ban the weeks? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Freya, Thor, Odin. Is Tuesday Balder? I think Tuesday's Balder. Or maybe it's Treya. And then Monday, I don't know who that is. Saturday, by the way, is Saturn, which how the Romans get in there, I don't know. What about the months? The months and the seasons are named after pagan gods and goddesses. Older pagan gods and goddesses, what we sometimes call the Titans, and sometimes called the abstracts. So, what about that? So no, you can't go around killing pagans and heathens or saying that all their contributions were worthless, because they're not. The things that they added to culture are completely valid, and to try to pretend that they're not, it would be foolish. Pagans and heathens used to talk badly against each other, okay? And then it became pagans and Christians, and now it's Christians and Muslims, and, you know, whatever. Over in India, by the way, for those in America who don't know, there's a whole thing between Hindus and Muslims that's going on. That's way more radical than anything going on here in the West between Christians and Muslims. Like it's way deeper over there. Okay, you got Buddhism, and you have the communists with Tibet, and they just, you know, Tibetan religion versus communism didn't go very well. So don't think atheists out there, don't think you guys are somehow out of this equation. You're still part of this equation. Being an atheist doesn't make you non-violent, doesn't make you suddenly a better person. You're in the mix with the rest of us, man. The atheists have killed people. So don't think that somehow being an atheist takes you away from the violent nature of man. It does not. There are people who have killed in the name of atheism. There are people who have conquered in the name of atheism. I give you Stalin. I give you Mao. I give you any socialist that you want to give. Now you want to say, okay, well those are ideologies. Okay, fine. And then in ideologies, people have been killed. Sure. The point is, you don't get away from the scot-free either. And I think, you know, you can say original sin and all that stuff, but the truth is we have to respect each other and we have to protect each other. And Catholicism has gone a long way in recent years to recognize Native American saints and to put Native American prayers in our prayer books. You don't believe me? Hold on, I'll be right back. So for all you Catholics out there, and I guess some Christians might not be offended by this, but some of you might be. This is a Catholic prayer book, okay? New St. Joseph, People's Prayer Book, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are in the know, it is official. It has the Imperator, okay? So this is officially Catholic. All right, so check this out. I give you prayers that are recognized. In the Catholic canon of prayers, we have Protestant, Orthodox, Jewish, religions of the East, and religions of the Americas. So let's go to 501, shall we? 501, here we go. Okay, so we got Orthodox prayers. We have St. Thomas, so Thomas More, I like him. All right, so then we have Jewish prayers. Those are in here. We have the Shema. We have the Kaddish. Let's see. Evening prayer, morning prayer. Okay. Religions of the East. That's a somewhat offensive symbol, ain't it? All right, so religions of the East. Remember, Catholic prayer book. Okay, so we have Buddhism. We have a Babylonian psalm. We have Chaldean. We have Chinese liturgy, Hindu liturgy. Hindu, from the Bhagavad Gita, is a prayer from there is in here. We have Xanthurianism. Xantherastaism. And we have prayers in here from the Quran. Oh, we do. Let's see. We have the 99 names of God. We have Shiite prayers. We have Persian prayers. We have a prayer from Imhotep IV in here, from Egypt. We have, let's see, what else? There we wanted to show you. So we have ourselves prayers from Native Americans. All right, so we have Apache prayers, Aztec prayers, Blackfoot prayers, Incan prayers, Iroquois. Let's see, Navajo, Peruvian, and then the United Nations prayer, whatever that one is. All right, let's give you a taste. Let's go with the Aztec. O Lord of mercy, grant that the chastisement that you have sent us will deliver us from evil and from all foolishness. There you go. Aztec prayer out of the Catholic prayer book. So, religion, modern religions have gone a long way to no longer persecute people of ancient faiths. So why are the apologists going around saying, yeah, but it was just the pagans. We just killed the pagans. No, you killed people. You killed human beings who had rational thought and who had rational souls. That's what you did. Okay? So ask forgiveness for that, admit to that, and move on. Don't use it as an excuse of, well, we're not violent because we only killed them. They count too. All right, peace, like, subscribe. Let's see if this turns into a video.